Hello, everybody. Hopefully, you guys have made it. I'm once again having a difficult time getting all of this set up and ready to roll. So, hopefully, everybody had a good week. It went by pretty quick for me. So, I have to say it was a very nice week. Tired as usual, but that's what happens when the non-physical gets you up between 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning. One of those things. So, what should we talk about tonight? So I was asked a pretty good question, and it was about good and evil as a construct. So, I mean, we can talk about good and evil as a construct, but we have to remember that evil doesn't exist, right? When we were created out of love. And it's a love that, again, that I've stated before, that you guys are completely and totally unaware of, all right? But as far as a construct going between good and evil, it's kind of saying, is it wet outside when it's raining? I mean, there is no evil. Evil does not exist. We have become a labeling society, all right? Us as individuals, even though we're not individuals. You'll label something you don't like as good or bad, right? Or right or wrong, when none of that really exists. So the construct between good and evil is you taking a situation that you went through that was pretty, we can even say barbaric, right? Say some of you were, if any of my followers are female right now, have been raped or molested, right? You would consider that as evil or wrong, right? Well, in the construct of what we are and how we're created, it is simply an experience, right? Like you taking a shower, even though you've taken a shower probably a million times, or ladies, taken a bath, right? You've never taken an actual bath. You've never been wet. You've never dove into water. So the construct of evil does not exist, all right? It's you trying to make sense of a very difficult situation that you went through, and you're labeling it that, right? Your consciousness, your fractured consciousness is labeling it as bad or evil. Like some of you would look at Adolf Hitler and say, Adolf Hitler is evil. Well, you would all be wrong. He's not, or was not. He simply was doing something that people asked him to do, and you guys, or all of us, didn't like it. So you said, oh, he was evil. Look what he did. There's no punishment. So what I'm trying to say to you guys is don't label the situations that you're going through, these experiences that you're going through. Don't label them. All right, look at it as a test from the non-physical in your spiritual growth. All right, and that's all it is. Everything that we go through, whether it was a real easy situation or a hard or difficult situation, it is simply that, an experience. Don't label it. Don't label it as good or bad or right or wrong. That's where we get confused. Remember, we're living in duality, right? Duality means two. So our main consciousness is at home, right? Like I told you before, we're all at home. All of us, we're all dreaming this, right? So don't take this construct and say that it's bad, because hi, hey, don't label it. Just look at it as an intense situation that you've got to go through, and that's it. In order to heal yourself from that, you have to go back into that moment when you were attacked, beaten, whatever. You have to look at that situation, and then you have to forgive that person, because the person that did that to you is basically you, right? Just another version of yourself. Or a bestie that you've asked, hey, I want to experience this. Can you do this for me? So forgive them. I know it's hard. I mean, it's what I'm doing right now in my life. I'm having to go back to some very traumatic events, and as I'm sitting there crying, I have to forgive that person and, truly forgive them and love them, because they are me. And then once I've done that, I've got to cut it off. So the good and evil construct, right or wrong, black and white, it's simply you trying to make sense of something that happened to you that was pretty brutal or hard, so to speak. So don't label it. Don't label things. We get ourselves caught in a trap that we can't seem to get ourselves out of. It's just simply an intense situation that you and I went through, or you went through, and that you've got to go back into and heal and ask the non-physical to take it from you. So that's basically it as far as the good and evil construct. Evil doesn't exist. We are created out of love, light, and energy. Same thing our Father is. Remember, this universe was created by us, all right? We created this. This has nothing to do with God. All that is, supreme being, whatever you want to call him, okay? And the reason is did he come down here and stop any of the shootings? Did he come here and stop the crucifixion of Jesus? No. Why? He didn't create this. We did, right? We created this. So he's not going to come in here and, say, you guys, hey, stop. So, everything, you guys, yes, everything will be beautiful in me. Everything is beautiful now. You remember that it's your thoughts, it's your being in your head, and you mulling things over and overthinking things that doesn't need to be. You focus in on the negativity, and that's what you keep bringing into yourselves, right? Because your thoughts are powerful. It's what creates the world that we're in right now. So, when we're in that fractured mind state that we're in, because let's face it, we cannot think properly with us being split, right? Part of my consciousness is here driving this vehicle, and 98% of my higher self is still at home. So yes, everything is going to be fine. Everything is fine right now. Everything is up here in your head as it is in mine. So we have to go up there and tell the ego to F off and start to reclaim who we are. And it all starts with you. So you guys are so beautiful. I love you guys. I cannot stand to have you guys sitting on the sidelines worrying about all of this small stuff when it's you that's creating all of this small stuff, as I do. Right? Sometimes you lose that job, or, then we get caught up in the fear, and, then we just start snowballing. So, all right, guys, give me some questions. It's good to see you here, all 10 of you. Welcome to Love and Light. What kind of questions you got for me? Somebody asked me about ETs, and I could talk about it quick here for a little bit, but let's talk about ETs. Basically, we are. What's my favorite music? You guys are so beautiful. My favorite music, well, let's see, I'm a Gen Xer, so I was born in 1970, so I grew up listening to two types of music. My mother's 70s country music, which I could not stand. And then I grew up with my dad listening to Janis Joplin, The Doors, Jimi Hendrix, Doobie Brothers. Then let's get into the 80s. I'm an 80s guy, so I was a teenager in the 80s. I love the 80s, so rock, pop, you name it. Not really country too much, a couple country songs. Grunge was okay, when I was in my 20s and the early 90s. But pretty much I'm in 80s, late 70s. Were the defining moments in my music. I play bass, so anything that's really got a good bass groove to it is something that I like to listen to and see if I can pick up and learn how to play. Good question though. Music it's a lifesaver for me because I can get lost. It's the best way, and that's a good thing to talk about real quick. Is love. Now, I've talked about it in some earlier videos, right? What is love, right? So what is love, guys? Love. Well, from the UK, hello there. Love it. Gen Xer, you gotta love it. We were the last, best, greatest generation. But we were the unwanted generation. You know, my parents didn't care. You know, I mean, I was 2 towns over. Right, but once you forgive, you've got to chop it off. Give it to the non-physical. All right? You have to, in order to fully forgive, I mean, you have to love that person as you love yourself. If you can't, you're going to have to forgive that person maybe 1,000 times, right? And you might have to ask God, you might have to ask Jesus for help. They will help you. And then one day that pain will be gone. But you have to do the work. They will not come down here to pat you on the back and the butt to say, okay, now come on, get up, you're okay. It's not going to happen. All right. Remember, you stood before Father, flipped him the double bird and said, I'm an individual. I'm not you. This is what I'm going to go do. And now you're here. It's not so much fun. And now you want all the help in the world like I did, right, to make it all go away. And it's not going to happen. He will give you, he'll prune you, but you have to do the work. So when you go back into that moment, whatever it is, right, and you're crying, you're upset, you're feeling it, and that's good. Yes, it sucks, but you have to forgive them, all right? You have to forgive them. You have to look at them. I don't care if they murdered your child, your mom or dad. You have to look at them and forgive them and love them. And it is going to be the hardest thing you ever have to do, okay? When I had to finally forgive my parents, it took me 3.5 years after my NDE to finally forgive my parents. I love them. I forgave them with everything that I have. And when I did that, I gave it to the non-physical. I said, take it away. I don't want it anymore. And they took it away from me. They took it away. I healed it. It was hard. I sat here for an evening crying uncontrollably. And now it's gone. So is it hard? Yes, because nobody wants to relive pain. Do I have any pets? I have a python. I don't know if any of you guys are snakes, but I've always been a snake guy. So she's in the tank right over there. And she's about 36 inches long. So she's about that big around. She's a beautiful ball python. Very lovable, very beautiful. It's just her and I in the house or this apartment. So she's with me 24/7. She and I have deep conversations, but generally it's me talking. So, you know, I talk to them, the non-physical, but, you know, when they're ready to have that in-person, like I have been, you know, they'll glitch the matrix, they'll come in and we'll do our thing. But that's the only pet I have. I had dogs before, not really a dog fan. Cats, tired of the litter box. Do you guys want to see her? I can get her out and show her if you guys want to see. But I'd have to see a couple of yeses in there. I let her out all the time. I go in there and pick her up. All right, hold on. Give me 1 minute. Hi, sweetie. I see you. Oh, look at you. I see you. You do. Oh, you got big poo-poos in there. All right, guys. Here she is. Her name is Serenity. She is my female adult. Well, she's not fully grown yet. She's still a baby. But she is my, you know, my pet. She is very much so. She's Orange Dream Enche Fire Mojave. You know, if you were to believe the Bible, then you would believe that this is Satan and this is just the most evil thing in the world. And, you know, we can't go there or dive into those dreams of delusions and stuff like that. But she's a sweetheart. My kids come in there and pick her up all the time and feed her. And but, yeah. She's not really cold right now. She's lukewarm. She has a light on in her tank that keeps her warm. And then I have when it's colder out, I have a an infrared light, a heat lamp that she can go crawl under at night if she wants to. But yeah, she is, there's her pattern. She's a beautiful girl. But that's the only pet I have. So, got to remember, she's not real, remember? So yes, there's a soul or a being inside of this that wants to experience life as a snake. So that's really it. So what other questions you guys got for me? I was looking forward to this all day. She is. Yeah, she's a big girl. Like I said, she's about 36 inches long. So she doesn't like, she's not a tree person, so she likes to hold on pretty tight. So yeah, I'm gonna feed her tomorrow. So go get her a live rat, and it's hard for me. I can't watch that because it's, you know. Thanks, guys. Because I don't like watching. What's my greatest fear? How do I feel about eating meat? And what's my greatest fear? So I'll get to the greatest fear. I really don't have a fear anymore. You know, do I want to lose an apartment or lose my job or say get my vehicle? You know, no. But it's like having anything negative happen to my children. You know, if I want to dwell on that, then, you know, that fear could come true, you know. So I really don't have anything. The worst thing that I did was die, you know, and it turned out to be the most beautiful experience of my life. You know, we don't die, and it's, you know, everybody goes home. And it depends on all of you on how you want to experience going home. Do you want to have a hellish experience? You know, do you want to be in love with this materialistic world and, you know, have all of those things happen to you? Or do you want to believe in love and know that, you know, that none of this is real? It's all an illusion. It's simply a matrix. It's not real. So there is real no fear with me. And what was the second question? Let's see here. How do I feel about eating meat? I eat meat all the time. The non-physical does not have a problem with it. Remember, you know, Jesus didn't eat a cow, he ate lamb. So he ate meat, bread, fish all the time. What the non-physical doesn't like is the mistreatment of our animals, right? So as long as you, while you're eating meat, that animal is humanely and lovingly put down, and that is out of my control, unless I have a farm and do it myself. But it's the non-physical does not have a problem with it at all. So don't worry about it. I eat chicken, I eat salmon all the time. I've really gotten into eating sushi, but I love steak, and I will eat steak 2 or 3 times a week. So, you know, but let's remember that, you know, when I feed her, it's a live rat. So before I put, you know, the rat into the tank, I ask Father to take the soul, to let them go home so that, you know, the body may die you know, unwelcomed, but they feel no pain. So as long as that animal is put down humanely and lovingly, then I don't have a problem with it. Let me get back to that again. That's a good question. Hold on. Going vegan. There's no sin, but is there ignorance versus wisdom? Well, you got to remember, as far as you saying that we're all ignorant. We've all been lied to. We've all been. Here in the United States, it's the same way. You know, it's sad. You know, we've got to fix what's going on. You know, so they just need to be put down humanely. You know, it's like if you were going to go take a steer, you would want it, you know, humanely put down, right? So that's all I can say. I've tried the vegan thing. I get it. You know, I eat a lot of salad. Well, hello there. I am happy that you are here, sweet. It's good to see all of you guys. I'm truly happy that you guys have showed up. I'm still working on a different system, StreamYard, to see if I can get it linked up to my tablet here for you guys, so I can actually have you come into the studio. So I'm working on that, guys. Bear with me. But yeah, eat meat. There's nothing wrong with it. You know, as far as the non-physical, 2 to 3 times a week is more than enough. But I eat a lot of salad, eat a protein, egg salad, sushi. I just eat very healthy now. I mean, it's okay to have a snack or a treat every now and then, but you know, let's not go there, or you know, go overboard, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? So getting back to the sin, no, there is no sin. The non-physical knows that we've been lied to and kept hidden in the dark by the church and the society that we set up. And that, like I said, that was Jesus's mission when he was here, right? To wake us all up to the fact that we are gods, that we are no different than him, and that all of our power lies right here in the center of us, the God spark that was given to us. So yes, we're all ignorant. They understand that. And they also understand that our minds are fractured. Our consciousness is split. You know, again, we are at home. You know, 98% of our consciousness, our higher self, is still home. There's only 2% of us that is actually in this vehicle driving it. So they understand. I think you're ace. All right. And you see how cool she is, calm and collected. She's just sitting here. She's nice and warm on my hand. So, and she's not squeezing. She's just tasting the air and checking things out. So yeah, we're all ignorant. And that's part of the reason why I do all of this. I could sit here and do nothing except excel myself, right? And do all the things that I needed to. But you know, when I came back and I was in this body and I realized that we've all been lied to horrifically, and that nobody on this planet has done anything wrong in any way, shape, or form, that we've just been lied to, and we became lost, wandering around in the dark, you know? No, there is no judgment, guys. There is no judgment. And that is why those of us that have had an NDE or have died have decided to come back and talk about it, is because we love you. We want you to know that you're okay, that you all have nothing to fear. You know, it's all upstairs. All the sickness, cancer, leukemia, anxiety, depression, all of that exists because you give it power. If I said to all of you, do you believe in cancer? Well, you'd say, well, yeah, my mom died of it. Well, that's because you gave it power. If you say, I believe in cancer, then cancer exists. That's how powerful you guys are. All right? If you say, well, I'm poor and I'm never going to get ahead, well, then guess what? You're poor and you're never going to get ahead. So if that's what I mean by your thoughts are as powerful as, how can we become less ignorant? Focus on love. Love is the only thing that matters, everybody. Do we individually have a purpose? Yes. Only you, so we'll use me right now. Only I, on this planet right now, can do what I came here to do. None of you can. And all of you, all 8 of you that are here listening to me, you all have a mission. And only you can accomplish it. I cannot. I don't have the knowledge or the wisdom. You do. So by you being here, it's vitally important to not only me, but to your neighbors, but to people in Africa and India and everybody else, right? So your mission can only be completed by you. That's how amazing and beautiful you all are. Only you can complete it. I can't, even though I've had an NDE and went home. I cannot complete your mission. I don't have what it takes. Only you do. So what I'm trying to tell you through my videos is step up and live in love, because everything you do is a relationship. And that's why I think where the biggest problem you guys are and where you get stuck is you think that love is between 2 people. right? Whether it's same sex or heterosexual, right? Love is everything. So if you say, you know, to all the females listening to me right now, or when this video goes, you know, public, you could say, if I could only find the right man, everything would be taken care of. I would be beautiful. And the non-physical is going, "Ugh," because you are that love. You are everything. That's where you're lost. Like, I love talking to all of you, all right? In that aspect, it is love. It is a loving relationship. I love talking to you. I love helping you. That is the love of my life. That is what I came to do. That is my purpose. And that's what, when I told you that Jesus mastered love, everything Jesus did, he loved. No matter who he talked to, no matter where he went, or what he did, he loved every second of it. And that was the love of his life. He was a teacher. He loved to teach. He loved to talk. He loved to sit with you. It didn't matter who you were, all right? And that was a relationship. That was a loving relationship. So don't look at love as just between two people. It can be your job. It can be going out and gardening. It could be mowing the lawn. It could be walking in the woods for 2 hours, right? And that is the love of your life. That is a relationship. And that should be loved and adored. So that's what I mean when I say love is everything, everybody. Look at your relationships. Look at the things you love. If you love music, like somebody just asked me, what's your favorite music? I love music. I love playing bass. Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? That is the love of my life. Period. End of subject. It brings me happiness. It's joy. It lifts my moods. That is a loving relationship. Look at it, love it, and accept it. And that's really how easy it was when I say Jesus mastered love. That's what he mastered. Everything in every encounter he had, he loved. And it was the love of his life. And that's the way I look at things now. I look at what I'm doing. If I'm not happy with it, am I lacking love or am I in love? If I'm lacking love, then I know that I'm not where I need to be. I'm not aligned with my true self, and I need to fix it. And I need to figure out what that is. So that's really a good question. You see what I mean, guys, by how mellow she is? She's just sitting here all wrapped up, and she's really warm now. So, all right, guys, what else we got? Come on, throw them out at me. You guys are beautiful. I love you guys. Correct. Because you have to understand what the universe is, ladies and gentlemen. The universe is alive. It is consciously awake and communicating with you. So yes, make love to the universe. Make love to yourself. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you've been taught wrong with your sexual energy, right? That masturbation is horrible. It's wrong. Wrong. Remember when I told you guys that in order to move forward and to get where you want to go, you have to begin with yourself, right? Well, being with yourself also means loving yourself. That means masturbating. How can we love in this competitive world? You don't have to compete. Who are you trying to compete with? Right? That's the haves and the have-nots. You need to worry about yourself. There is no competing. You need to get into yourself, right? Into your mind, clear it out, tell the ego to fuck off, like I do all the time. And then when you can sit there in silence and you can feel yourself, you can listen to yourself, there is no competition. You came here to achieve something and do something, period. Not anybody else. You need to worry about yourself. Don't compete. There's nothing to compete. Find out where you need to be, right? Through your inner guidance, through your guidance system. Find out and then do it. Like, this is what I came here to do. This is what I was meant to do. And this is what I will do. This is where I'm transitioning into my new career, right? Because I didn't listen to my guidance system for 49 years. And finally, Father said, okay, that's enough. All right, we're going to point C, and basically was my death. And it worked like a charm. It brought me right where I needed to be. It took me 4 years, and I'm still working on it. All right? So don't compete with anybody. That's the ego, right? The ego says you've got to be number one. You've got to be this. You've got to be that. You need to be who you truly are, and that is not the ego. So find out what you're supposed to be doing, and only you know that. It's in your heart. It's right here. So for me, there is no competition. I'm not trying to be better than any other content creator out there or anybody else that had an NDE. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to educate you. I'm here to tell you the truth. I want you to be liberated from the fears that have been hampering all of you your entire life, because you've been taught wrong. You were indoctrinated into a society that is meant to keep you at a low vibrational state. That is why 98% or 99% of the world is in poverty, right? It's meant to keep you there. It's meant to keep you living in, what happens if I lose my house? If I don't go to work, I'm going to lose my car. My kids will have no place to go. It's fear. Fear is a low vibrational state. They don't want you in a high vibration. And that, coupled with the church telling you that you're a filthy, dirty, rotten sinner, you're no good, Father hates your guts, and you'll be lucky if you get to go home. That's the church that you all know, right? And that masturbation is a sin. That sex is a sin. It's filthy, it's dirty, and you are all filthy and dirty. Well, wrong. I'm here to tell you, wrong. Love yourself. You need to work on yourself before anything else, and that includes your children. If you don't love yourself as number one, then you could never love your children. You could never love your spouse or anybody else. So yes, you need to work on yourselves. You need to find yourselves. You need to love yourself and forgive yourself for allowing yourself to be intimidated by the society and by the church. And then you need to pick your pants up by the bootstraps and say, no, I am beautiful. I am the love of my life. And then start your healing, start your journey, find out where you need to be. No, just think of it this way. The reason you can listen to music, right? The music that you like, because music is a frequency. What are you? You simply exist as a frequency. So when you turn on your favorite radio station when you get in the car, right? You're able to listen to it. Why? Because you're in tune. Your vibration matches that of the music, so you can listen to it. Some radio stations you can't get, right? It's garbled or it's not there. You're not in tune with that frequency yet, so it's not going to come. So everything that happens here, money is a frequency, love is a frequency, hate is a frequency, right? Everything that you go through, fear is a frequency. You simply exist. Your consciousness exists as a frequency. When I left my body, I didn't have any form. I was still me. Well, hello there. How are you? So everything exists as a frequency, guys. It's nothing more. And in order for you to raise your vibration and raise your frequency, you need to be in the highest frequency, and that is love. And I'm living that way now. My vibration is very high. And now, I've come to understand why most of society doesn't like me. When I'm around them, like when I go to work, most of the new place, most everybody at the new place do not like me. They will not talk to me. I've been there 6 months now. Why? Because they can't handle my energy. Are NDEs when our guys? No. Your NDEs take place before you come here. It's kind of written into your contract. So as you're with your overlord, which is basically a supervisor who's in charge of your spiritual growth, so to speak, then you have your guides, and then you have, your archangel with you, and they have been with you since your inception. So they're with you 24/7, and yes, they know that I had an NDE. I see them quite often. But it's kind of like written into our contract, so to speak, because we have a lot of experience being in the physical realm. Even though I can't remember it, You guys know I died over 3,200 times. And most of that, I've been wandering this earth for 20, 30,000 years. So think about it. That's, 10,000, 20,000 BC. That's a long time, you know, helping people. So now NDEs are designed for that specific being. It's meant to get them back on track. And yes, we're, for those that are willing to come out there and talk about it, we're teachers, right? We sit there and we help you guys. You get through some pretty nasty stuff. And it's all because we're stuck, because we were lied to, and I tell this to people all the time, and they're, well, bullshit. This isn't true, right? Well, ladies and gentlemen, is Santa Claus real? But you believed that for how long? Up to you were 12 years old? But it was basically mom and dad lying to you, right? So what's the difference here? The church lied to you for millennia, and we believed it, right? But now all of us, or many of us, are having NDEs, and they're simply telling you the truth. You've been lied to, and the system that we have set up here, as far as our Western society, is broken badly, and what you're witnessing now around the world is, our storms are getting worse. Wars are raging all over I told you what's coming. World War III is coming. And it will be devastating, ladies and gentlemen. All of you listening to me right now live will not be on this earth. We cannot be. That includes me. We cannot be on this earth because we were indoctrinated and victimized as children. Yes, we have all been horrifically lied to. And that is why I do what I do. I will not allow you guys to live in fear. I want you guys to wake up every morning and embrace your new day with love. Wake up. When I say good morning, what a beautiful day. I love you all. First things that come out of my mouth. It's awful because that's what people are thinking. Remember, your thoughts create the world that you see. So if you're saying the world is awful, that is a negative vibration, right? Or a lower vibration. So you'll keep sinking into that lower vibration and energy, which most of the world is living at, right? So what do you see in the world? Pain and suffering. And it's all because that's what we're creating through our thoughts and through our actions. Through our thoughts, really. So that's why the world is in the state that it's in. And that's why I'm here to tell you that within the next 18 years, when World War II starts, World War III, we're in trouble. We're out of time, everybody. I need you to understand this. We're out of time. We need to change, and we need to change now. And it's a simple change, everybody. Love one another. Love yourself. Love yourself in every way possible. And then you take that love, you pass it on to your children, your spouse, the people down the street. Let them into the line, in the car, grocery store. Oh, excuse me, I'm so sorry. Hey, have a blessed day. Jesus is not returning. There is no second coming of Christ. There was no splitting of the Red Sea. There was no chosen people. That's all a lie. All right? We are all the direct manifestations of our Father. We are all God. All right? We're all gods, because there's more of us here, but we're all gods. And we are all eternal. We will all go home. It depends on how you want to go home. Do you want to go home from a beautiful planet, or do you want to see people being incinerated by bombs and tanks and all that good stuff? While we're home, you are going to watch your grandchildren be slaughtered. Absolutely. When this stuff starts, we cannot be here. Well, let's just say when the new world starts in about 60 or 70 years, we cannot be here. None of us will. And when the war starts, if we're home already, then you are going to watch your children and grandchildren be slaughtered. I cannot allow that. I cannot allow my 7-year-old grandson and 5-year-old granddaughter to starve to death. Are politicians? Probably not. What are they worried about? I'm not going to, say bad things about them, but what are they interested in? Are they interested in your well-being? Or are they interested in lining their pockets with that money and taking what they want in that moment? I say it's the latter, right? They're worried about losing power and they're worried about losing their money. So if you think that they're truly interested in what you have to say or your thoughts or desires, think again. That's government is nothing more than the world's biggest ego. They do not have your intentions in mind. They don't care. They'll tell you what you want to hear. You run out there like good little lambs and vote, which I will never vote again. I will never vote again. Not until if I ever make it to the new world, the golden age, if governments are still alive by then, which I don't think they will be, maybe I'll vote. But until then, we need to do a much better job, and that is to simply love. So governments, if they survive World War III, will work for us. They will be, when they talk to us, they will implement what we say. All right? Because we will become, or the new world will become egalitarian. And you guys know that as both men and women are equal. Our body types, right? The male and female. They're equal. There is no difference. That's what Jesus was teaching 2 millennia ago when people say, you're new age, you're this, you're that. No, I'm just picking up where Yeshua left off. All right? He had nothing to say about the church at the time because it kept people living in fear and poverty, right? So he blasted the Pharisees, the Sanhedrin, he blasted Rome, He was simply murdered for being a common criminal. He was not allowed to teach what he was teaching. How can the media and the politics? Of course they're worrying about their own families. That's because they're keeping the power within themselves, right? They're keeping the money there instead of, fixing what's broken, which is our education system, is our money system. Nobody is equal in this country. Nobody is equal, right? You got 98% of people living as slaves, beyond poor, right? Beyond poor. And then you have the 1% that is living with billions of dollars. Tell me how that's fair. It's meant to keep us there. That's why it's there, right? So nobody needs to be making $50 million a year. I'm sorry, nobody needs that kind of money. Nobody needs to have a 50,000 square foot home. I'm sorry, the last time I checked, I can only take a shit on one toilet. I don't need 12 of them. So, it's all fear-based, guys. So they can worry about their family. If they were making 90 or 100,000 a year, nothing wrong with that. So, but it's meant to keep us. How do you know what part of what part is it? 98% of the Bible is just simply wrong, guys, right? Whenever, and I've talked about it in my, the greatest lie ever told, is that 98% of the Bible is wrong. The church wrote Jesus out of the Bible. The scribes that were tasked with writing the Bible, remember? The Bible is not true. It's not true at all, and I'm not going to debate that with you. It's not. I outright rejected the Holy Spirit. I outright rejected God. As a matter of fact, when God took my son away, I cursed him to the very pits of hell. And he probably had a good chuckle at that because hell doesn't exist. Hell is simply a frame of mind. It's your state of mind. I mean, you can create beautiful things or you can create horrific nightmares. It's up to you. It's your own thoughts. But no, the Bible is not correct in any way. Sorry to bust your bubble, but it's not. No, that's the truth. And that's a fact. And that's what I'm telling you. And if you want to believe that, that is your free will. You go right ahead. You're not being judged for it. But I'm here to spread the truth, to tell you the truth. And that's that. Just as much as you say the Bible is real, is Santa Claus real? Just because mom and dad told you, just because the church told you, mommy and dad said the Bible's real, so you believe it? Santa Claus real? Boogeyman real? No, I didn't think so. All right. Bible is not real. Jesus' love for you is real. His message of love was real and it still is real. And that is basically it, that his message to everyone. But like I said, the church wrote it out of the Bible. So how can you? Through forgiveness. So if you want to love others, right? If you want, and that's a good thing. That is a very good question. I mean, I'm so glad. So when I wake up in the morning and when I'm going through my mantra, when I meditate in the morning and before bed, as one of the things I ask Father is, as much as I love all of you, as deep as I love you, I always ask Father, help me to love all of you more deeply. And when I find that I do that and Father, is allowing that, I am also quicker to forgive somebody for hurting me or saying something negative or this, that, or the other. It really comes through forgiveness. When you can forgive, thoroughly forgive, it is mind-blowing liberating when you can let all of that worthless shit go. Stuff that you've been holding on to for 30, 40 years, holding on to that grudge, holding on to that dark energy. Let it go. Love, forgive. When you look at that person, and this is what made it easier for me, guys, is when I looked in the mirror and I see myself right now, right? Now, when I go out into the world, I project my face onto everybody else and I see me. So I just see a different version of me. I'm maybe an angrier version of me that is young and something bad happened, You also have to remember, you don't know what that person in the grocery store is going through. They may have lost their daughter 6 hours ago and they're having to go buy groceries because there's nothing in the house to eat. And so they may be a little grumpy with you or angry, but you don't know that. You just think they're a piece of shit and being an asshole. But they just lost their 7-year-old daughter. How do you know? So when you look at them as yourself. See them as you because they are you. Remember when I said we are all one? Well, I wish I never would have said that, but that's a good thing to say, is that person in the grocery store is you. That person standing in the movie theater behind you is you. You are everything and everyone. You're just a projector. You're dreaming this and you are projecting what you see out in front of you. So the person talking to you right now is simply a figment of your own imagination. Something that you've projecting out into the physical realm, and here I am. So that's really how I did it, and it makes it so much easier. Like I'm seeing people that, you don't want to let them in on the interstate. Why, man? Just let them in. Jesus loves you. Jesus loves everybody. Jesus is the master of love. And I told you what love is. Love is a relationship. It could be with movies. It could be with taking a walk in nature, doing what I'm doing right now, playing bass, listening to music. Jesus loves everything. And he became a master of it while he was here in the physical realm. And yes, he does love you immensely, more than you could even possibly imagine. His love for you is that great. Consciousness. Right now you have two consciousness in this vehicle. You have your physical brain and then you have your spiritual mind. All right? They do battle with each other all the time. I have not heard of David. Fill me in on some of that. So consciousness is who we are. It's, God, what's the best way to put this? That's a really deep question. Wow. It's really who you are. It's a state of being. Yes, love is everything. It's simply a state of being. You're eternal, right? This vehicle is going to die. as we're transitioning now into 5D, which is consciousness, means you're going to be smarter, right? You're going to have a knowing of a lot more than what you know now. And that's part of why we're transitioning now, because what's coming? The new age, right? The golden age of Earth, where there is no more poverty, there is no more homelessness, there is nothing but love. And we all are one and work for one another, right? You know, there is no going to jobs. You know, the non-physical does not want us working a 40-hour work week. They find it absolutely absurd. It's not what we came here to do. Big thing Father laughs at, and I'm not kidding, and I want you to seriously understand this, is the fact that we wear clothes because we're ashamed of ourselves, right? What happened when we stuck our middle fingers up at Father, right? We flipped them off, said, no, I'm not you, I'm an individual, thus creating fear, guilt, and the ego, right? So we feel guilty and ashamed of ourselves, and that's why we all put clothes on. We feel ashamed of ourselves. We shouldn't. And Father laughs. The first thing he'll say is, you know, you guys are wearing clothes. Why? What are you ashamed of? You know, we've got it all wrong, ladies and gentlemen. We've got it all wrong. We've got it so bad. And, you know, unfortunately, what has to happen for us to change, right? What happened when 9/11 happened? Everybody came together. I will have to look that up. I will look that up, David. I mean, it's just a shame that we've got to let World War III come to watch, you know, the complete disintegration of everything that is on this planet right now. Like I said in the video, sin does not exist. And if you want to put a definition to sin, it's simply a lack of love. Sin does not exist. Hell does not exist. The devil does not exist. There are no fallen angels. They don't exist. It can never happen. But that's how deeply you've been indoctrinated and lied to, that you firmly believe all of this. You firmly believe that there is a human being God up there waiting to strike you down with a bat and send you to hell because you are worthless. And that's what I was expecting upon my own death, upon my own bisexual encounters, and including sending my, you know, father to hell. Because I've been told it's coming. And you watch, in about 18 years is when it's going to happen, World War III. And then that'll last for about 7 to 10 years. And then after the war, the weather is going to be so horrific that the weather is going to be horrible. You cannot go out in the weather. And basically around 8 billion people, 8 to 9 billion people are going to starve to death. You're going to watch them from home starve to death. Not 8 million, not 8,000, 8 billion souls. And yes, those beings coming in at this time know what they're getting into. They choose to forget, so they're going to, woe is me, but how can we protect from, well, so me being an empath, that's a good question. I isolate myself. I keep to myself. Yes, I have to go to a physical job right now. I have to be around people, and some of those people are, it brings me down, my energy, right? Because they're so materialistic, they're so into this modern world that it brings me down. So I have to come home and recharge. And that's what you have to do. You have to keep yourself safe. You have to not let them get to you. And if you're in a situation where you're feeling drained or you're not happy, then you need to remove yourself from that situation. And that is perfectly okay. And if your friends say, where are you going? Say, I can't be here. They may not understand it. and that it's okay, but you need to come. Remember what I said, you need to come first, period. Well, basically, yeah, 50, 60 years is when the new golden age is going to come, but World War III is going to start in about 18 years. And then within that time frame, 50, 60 years, those 8 billion people in that timeline then are going to starve to death, are going to die. Some of them in the war, millions of them in the war, but then when there's nothing left to eat, there's no shelter, the weather's too bad to go out in, there's no food, you will simply sit there and starve to death. The world is going to fight over the last of the remaining resources, period. And that's that. That's what's going to happen. So, you know, we need to change. We need to fix what's going on right now. And that is we're lost. We're stuck, right? We're believing too much in the dream. And I can't allow that to happen. I don't want to see my grandchildren starve to death. I don't want to see your grandchildren starve to death. I don't want to see any of this. And we need to live in love. We need to love unconditionally everyone, every situation that you run across. It's hard. I'm not saying that it's not, ladies and gentlemen. It's brutally hard. But we didn't come here for, fun and, not fun and games, but if we wanted that, then we'd stay at home, right? We came here for the contrast. Like I said, when people say about all these bad things, come on, honey, you're squeezing tight. She would say, or you would say, explain hot. Yes, right now. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm, spending my Friday night with you on a holiday weekend, because I love you all. I mean, who I'm talking to is myself. I mean, essentially, you're all me, right? And I am all of you. So, I mean, that's how I see it. And I want to free you from the chains of what has been given to us for millennia. It's all been a lie, a vicious lie. And I cannot stand it, and I will not tolerate it. I will not. And I will, if I saved out of all of this just one person, then I will have done my job, and I will be elated. The fact that I have all of you here tonight and on my channel, all the subscribers, I'm beyond elated. Who cares if they're relatives? I talk to nobody in my family anymore. I have not spoken to my father in 40 years. I have not spoken to my mother in over 10. And I have not spoken to my sister in over 10. I will not go into that craziness, that low vibration of drug abuse, alcoholism, and negativity. I will not. So you're going to shed friends, you're going to shed family, and that is perfectly okay. Love them, forgive them, but then keep them at that distance. Say, you know what? You guys are too negative. I want no part of it. Have you watched Anthony? No, I have not. Yes, it's... Yeah. No, I haven't. Generally, when stuff pops up onto my feed, if I'm being directed there, which is generally the case, then I watch it. And right now, something that has popped up on my screen, I'll check into it. Is all of a sudden in my feed has become a chosen one. Like, what is a chosen one or an earth angel? Fitchy Fit, I love you too. Aw, see, then that's what it's about. It's beautiful. She loves it too. Where was I going? I forgot. It's all about love. See, when you feel that love and you're in that zone of love, man, that you feel it from here to here, because your heart and mind are one. Your heart and mind are one. And when you line them up and when you're aligned with your guidance system, which is love, you'll know it. You will feel it. I forgot what I was going to say, guys. Man, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, yeah, if I can save one person from this, then I will have done my job. Oh, that's what I was talking about. I'm sorry. The chosen ones. I was like, what is a chosen one? And why is this all of a sudden popping up in my feed? Got a couple more minutes here. And a chosen one is what they call an earth angel. It is a being of intense vibration, and now I understand because I am that, that have chosen to come and have a very difficult life, because what is going to occur with them, and they, like I said, they've been here for many, 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 many lifetimes helping everybody out. And it was one of the questions I asked. I mean, like, who am I really? What am I here for? And then, the next day I come back and chosen ones are all over the place. So look into that, guys, and then you'll kind of understand, who I am. So I'm constantly being given information and downloaded and told to go here, there, so on and so forth. So one more question, guys, and then I'll let you get to your weekend. What you got? And I'm going to do a new video. I don't know if it'll be this week because this video will come out. But the next weekend, I think I'm going to do a video on, somebody asked me about ETs. I hear you, my dad. Well, I want you to understand about, I had those experiences when I was younger, and I think it stopped when I was like 10 or 12. Was the last one. But I knew I was doomed, according to the Bible. The Bible says you're an abomination to your father and you will burn in hell, period. Well, upon my death, being in constant, this most amazing love and light, and after, I will do the ETs. Basically, we are the ETs. I hope you know that human beings don't exist without us dreaming. So, but we'll get into that in a little bit. Is that, I forgot what I was going to say. It was about chosen ones. So look that up. And it was a big relief when I found out that I was this. It's not, when they say earth angels, it's not an actual angel without wings. What they mean by an earth angel is their amount of love and their high vibration and, the brutal life that they chose to come and experience so they can help others, which is exactly me. But going back to your bisexuality, is you're loved. You're very welcome. Is that you're loved, brother, all right? And if you love that person you're with, what's the best? To meditate, to be alone with yourself, to be away from everybody else. Go out in nature. Like if you have a nature preserve or a place that you can go walk, go sit down. Take your shoes off and take your socks off and just walk through the grass. Sit down on the grass, close your eyes and then just commune with home and yourself. That's the best way. Like tomorrow, I'm going to go out early in the morning and I'm going to go sit in this nature preserve on a camping chair and I'm going to meditate from 7 to 8 in the morning. And then I'm just going to sit there and listen to the birds and feel the sun and feel nature. That is the absolute best way you can. Absolute best way. But finishing up with your bisexuality, if you love these people, then that is the love of your life and there is no judgment from the non-physical, brother. None. In any way, shape, or form. Love is love. It has no bounds. Same as fear. Fear is fear. You can have a little fear or you can be scared shitless. It has no bounds. Be worried if you want to be worried. If you're not worried about it, give it to the non-physical. Say, you guys know I lost my job. Remember, when a door shuts, it's not... Like when you lose your job, don't get lost in the fear of, oh my God, money, money, money. Don't. Give it to the non-physical. When that door's shut, what opens? The door that you're needed to go through, right? To a better position. Meaning could be a complete life change. You could sell your house, move, you could do whatever you want. Remember, it's a challenge. Something that you set up for yourself. So give it to the non-physical like I do. Say, hey, I'm out of a job. Lead me in the right direction and go from there. To meditate with you in person, I've been doing it. It is. When you can sit there and meditate, I don't care if it's for 5 minutes, when you've got out of your mind and you've cleared it, and you can begin to feel yourself, your true self, not the ego, not the bullshit of the physical realm, but who you truly are. And if it's for 10 minutes, then that's 10 minutes that the non-physical and you are communicating. Even though it may seem one way, they are giving you all kinds of information. Don't stop. Keep your routine up. It may frustrate you, and you may be in a good spot, and then all of a sudden, they've taken you back to day one, where you can't shut up. And I'm like, oh, you're more than welcome. Do not let that bother you or live in fear. There is no sin. Sin does not exist. It's simply a lack of love. And for all those Bible thumpers out there that want to say that sin exists, it doesn't. The non-physical will tell you that it doesn't. And if Yeshua were here, he'd have a big bone to pick with the church, with the Catholic Church, and he would pick it without question. He would tear into them. And I told him that I will pick up where you left off. And I told him I would not fail, and I will not. So, but you're welcome. Do not let that hamper you in any way, shape, or form. Any of you that have had a same-sex relationship or played with it or whatever. It is beautiful, it is natural, and it is love. Just let them go, chop them off. Go into those situations, find out where you need to heal it, love yourself, love them, and then ask the non-physical to take it from you. And then chop it off like a knife when you're chopping a carrot. Lop it off and don't ever think about it again, because it's gone. Why do you want to keep living in fear and hatred and low vibration? Because it keeps you there. Just let it go. Forgive them and let it go. Doesn't mean you have to jump into that situation again, like I said with my family, right? I haven't spoken to them, and some of them in decades. I love them, I forgave them, but I will never speak to them on this earth again. Will not. I don't have to. They're not telling me to, but I have to forgive them. And it's hard. I'm telling you it's hard. It will be the hardest thing you ever have to do. Because you have to relive that pain again. You have to relive that moment. It's kind of ironic that when you're in the car, right, and all of a sudden a song comes on that you haven't heard in 30 years, and all of a sudden it brings you instantly back to being 16, right? It's the same thing with that moment that causes you pain. It instantly brings you back to that moment. Well, now heal that moment, because you're lacking love, right? So you have to look at them, you have to love them, and then forgive them and say, take it from me, Father. I don't want any more of this, and then move on. Just simply move on. What's here? Yes, I'm sensitive to spirit. That's beautiful. When you ask Jesus to come, he will come. I mean, not into this realm, so to speak, but he will come to you. He will send you love. He will answer your questions. But you have to be willing to receive. If you're stuck on the Bible saying, well, this shit isn't true, and it's not going to happen. It won't, because you've already told yourself that it won't, right? So, but if you believe what I'm telling you, you believe that he's there, you believe that he's willing to, then, look at the non-physical or the universe as a genie in the bottle. Remember, I told you that the universe is consciously awake. It is thinking. It is in love. The universe isn't just some empty space where we all explode and die. No, it's alive. It's consciousness. So, what else we got? One more question, and then I got to go. Oh, you're all welcome. I love you guys. One more question, and then I will let you have your beautiful Friday evening. And as you can see her just sitting here, just content and happy as a clam, In my NDE, I met him. I did not see him. I recognized and felt his energy instantly. Just like when I was talking to the left, and when I was, ensconced in the light of Father, which was me, but that's another animal. He showed up. I can't tell you how soon because I don't know if I was there for 5 minutes or 5 hours. I have no clue. But the energy that showed up when sometime into my NDE, that was Yeshua, because I was, talking about Father and of Yeshua. So they both showed up. And when you're at home, you instantly recognize everybody. There is no not knowing. So you know everybody and everything. So I immediately recognized his energy. I felt it. It is an energy that I have been with my entire existence. It's very hard to explain that to you guys, because that's how we simply exist as energy. But I recognized it immediately. I knew exactly who it was without question, so, and it was a love that none of you are prepared for. It was stifling between, and I don't mean in a bad way, it was just a love that you guys are not familiar with, and it is simply the most beautiful thing you will ever experience. It is who we truly are, a love that none of you know. And we simply exist as that love, and we are light, which Father is, and then we are imbued with the same knowledge, power, and love that our Father is. We are creators. We have created this world. We created this universe. I love you too, hon. Thank you so much. That's why Father, when somebody says evil exists, what about all these school shootings? Evil does not exist. And the fact that the school shootings happened was God's will. He did not create this. These are not his rules. These are our rules. He's abiding by them. So he didn't come in here and stop these active shooters. He's not going to if there was one tomorrow. This is what we created. We have to fix this. And this is why I'm here. This is why other people are talking about their energies. But I'm going into deeper things that need to be talked about. Our sexual energy, our guidance system, who we are, the Bible, all of this crap that has been limiting you in your beliefs, which has been meant to do that. What do we got here? Thank you so much, love. All right, I love you all. And thank you for allowing her, Serenity, to come in and speak with you tonight as well. This is my pet. She's about 1.5 years old now, 2 years old. So, and she's beautiful. I love her to death. I have unlimited conversations with her, but generally it's a one-way conversation. And I want you guys to understand something, that you are going to get frustrated. For all of you that have begun to meditate and ask for forgiveness and all of this, right? It's going to be frustrating. It's going to be, they're not listening to me. Nothing's happening. But look at it this way, right? When you till the ground and you plant your garden, you get it all set up and you plant those seeds, you come out there every day and look, and there's nothing. Month will go by, nothing. Month and a half go by, nothing, right? And then just when you're about to give up, you walk out, and then all of a sudden you see these little itty bitty green sprouts poking through the dirt, right? And you're like, oh, right? Well, we're the seeds germinating underneath the ground, right? We're wiggling, we're moving, we're doing our thing, right? And that's what that meditation is about, right? You're clearing out all the old shit. You're telling the ego to fuck off, and you're telling the non-physical that, hey, I want to talk. I'm here. I'm not a body. I firmly believe that. I want better things, right? Well, that's it. But it's because we're not as powerful as Yeshua. It's not going to happen immediately. It's going to take time. It's going to take time for them to manifest in the physical. So don't give up on your spiritual journey, everybody. It's tough. It's hard. Like, they wake me up between 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning every single day. I don't have to be to work till 8. Do you know what that's like, to meditate for 15 or 20 minutes and then I'm up? I mean, by the end of the week, I'm wrecked. But I will not stop, because one day all the chakras will line up and I will be, in a much better place and much, much higher vibration. So don't give up. I know it's frustrating. I know you want to just say it's not happening, but that's why the non-physical is doing that. It's a test. They want to make sure that you are going to stick through it because it's hard, right? Some of you have families, you have children, you have dinners to make, you have a job to go to, you got a husband or a wife to tend to, you've got after school functions, you're like, when do I have time? The non-physical knows this. We're not supposed to be doing any of that, but they know that. So, tell the hubs, tell the wife, say, I need half an hour to myself. Keep the kids quiet, go somewhere, I don't care. But take that 30 minutes to work on yourself. It is imperative. You have to do the work. You have to go within and do it. All right? So do it in the mornings. If you got to get up before, 2 hours before work and all the kids are sleeping, get up, go sit on the couch, meditate. You fall back to sleep, do your thing, whatever. But you have to do the work. You have to. It's imperative because it starts and it ends with you. And, nobody else is living your life. You are the one living your life. You're the one here that can only complete the mission that you've assigned, that you have. I cannot complete it for you. Nobody else can. So you have to work on you guys. It's imperative. You come first. And that means over God, over Jesus, over your children, over your spouse. You come first. It's something that you have been taught the other way. That's being vain and that is, worthy of burning in hell. No, I'm telling you, you need to work on you, period. That's the only way you are going to change. That's the only way you're going to evolve. That's the only way you are going to raise your vibration. Live in love, live in empathy, live in forgiveness. And when you do that, you will see amazing things start to transform in your physical world. They will change, I promise you. It doesn't mean that you're not going to go through a difficult situation, but I know the non-physical has my back. I know it's not real. No matter what it is, I know I am perfect and I am right where I need to be. Like all of you right now are right where you need to be. Continue with the work. I will continue doing these videos. I will continue going live for all of you. I love you all so very much that I cannot stand for any of you to be living in fear in any way. I want you to wake up and embrace the world. When you wake up in the morning, everybody say, good morning, Father, I love you. Thank you for another day. I'm beyond grateful for this life, to be here, because it truly is a gift. God does not have to allow this at all. This is us wanting a little bit of independence and to call the shots, right? Well, we fucked it up pretty bad, and I've got to fix it. And all of those with the NDEs, that's what we're trying to do, is fix where we, went astray. So love, everybody. Love with all your heart. Forgive with all your heart. It's hard. But just remember, you're that seed germinating under the ground, and you will sprout through all that dirt, through all that rock. You will prevail. I promise you. I promise you. With that, ladies and gentlemen, Serenity and I are going to say good night. I hope you all have a beautiful weekend. I hope you enjoy your Memorial Day. I hope it is beautiful for all of you. This video will get posted. It'll get edited a little bit, but for all those that missed it, you will see it. And then the next video coming out next weekend that I will do will be on ETs and all of that good stuff. So I love you all so very much. You have a beautiful evening, and I will see you next time.